Ooh, hold on. One thing I forgot to mention that I think that I did not do, but I think is really, really smart. What's up, Smarties? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Aggie, a labor and delivery nurse turned dermatology nurse practitioner. And as promised, I'm going to be sharing how I broke into dermatology as a new graduate nurse practitioner and with a women's health background. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. I'm going to be sharing additional resources that you can take advantage of if you are also interested in working in dermatology. So bring out a notepad, pencil to write with, and let's hop right into it. So I really feel like I did 3 major things to get a job as a dermatology nurse practitioner. The first being joining a professional nursing association pertaining to dermatology. Now they have several options. They have the DNA, that's the Dermatology Nurse Association, which is a really good one. They actually have within the DNA like a nurse practitioner society, so they have a community for NPs. The AANP, that's the American Association of Nurse Practitioners. They have different like specialty groups, and one of those is dermatology. That's the one that I joined. They also have the Society of Dermatology Nurse Practitioners. So there are a handful of options out there. Choose one. The reason why I think it's really helpful is, one, it just makes you more credible as a clinician trying to work in that area. You get access to other professionals that are working in dermatology, so you get to ask questions, just look at the discussion forums they have. Sometimes they'll have different chapters, like local chapters, where you could actually directly network with other healthcare professionals in dermatology. So it's a really, really good resource. I use this specifically to just ask for advice on how to break into the area, and also introduce myself to other healthcare professionals, like I said, who work there and specifically that might live in my area, to see if they know of any opportunities for me, if they know of any books that they would recommend, any conferences they would recommend, because we'll talk about that also, but there are a lot of different conferences you can attend, and so I just wanted to know which ones from their experience they would recommend, just through conversations on the different discussion forums. So highly recommend joining a professional organization. In addition to joining a professional organization, it was really, really important for me to get more education on clinical conditions in dermatology. So whether that was looking at different textbooks, study guides, I ended up finding a educational program. It's like a postmaster's program that is really comprehensive, just so I could really feel confident in my knowledge, because my grad program, my FNP grad program, had really limited education on dermatology. So I wanted to go more in depth on what I started learning in grad school. And so some resources for you, I will link down below. The DNA has a list of different study resources that you could look into. This book I think is really good. It's called Dermatology for Advanced Nurse Practice, or for Advanced Practice Clinicians, by Margaret Bobonich and Mary Nolan. And I really like it because it's pretty comprehensive, and it's not like super like detailed. It kind of just tells you what you need to know. And it starts off with, you know, discussing the structure of the skin, and then it goes into like different medications, and then all the different disorders, cancers, and infections that are related to your skin. So I would recommend this one, but like I said, I will link down the DNA's list of resources for you to check out. Also, for learning more about dermatological concerns, you can look at different postgraduate programs, kind of like what I'm doing. So there's another website I found that showed 8 that I thought were pretty good. These are either postgraduate certificate programs, fellowships, or like training programs, and all of them, from my quick research, they all include like a didactic portion, and then some of them are like actually where you get hired on the job and they train you. So Florida Atlantic University has a postgraduate certificate program. The University of Miami has an advanced practitioner program. Penn State College of Medicine has an advanced practice clinician dermatology fellowship. UC Davis Medical Center in Sacramento has an advanced practice fellowship. Advanced Dermatology and Cosmetic Surgery has an advanced practice fellowship. That was one I was really interested in, but their start date wasn't until later this year. And I can tell you from this one that they basically, you get trained for some time and then they'll hire you full-time after completion of the program, which I think is awesome. There's the Medical College of Wisconsin that has an advanced practice provider postgraduate training program. Beth Israel Leahy Health, Leahy Hospital Medical Center, that has a Dermatology Nurse Practitioner Fellowship, and it's the first of its kind. And then the university, it says University Hospitals, they have a postmaster's training program. So I will link this down below, by the way. Everything I talk about, I will be sure to link down below. So just take a, look at those, see what they have to offer, see if any of those will be a good fit for you. I think they're really good just for educational purposes. And like I said, some of these will actually train you on the job on how to be a dermatology, specifically a dermatology nurse practitioner. I joined the professional organization, learned more about dermatology conditions, and then lastly, y'all, was I applied to so many jobs throughout the country. And that's the key part there. I was not limited to a certain region, state, or city. I applied to any practice in the country that was hiring dermatology nurse practitioners, and I even applied to those that wanted experience, because I figured this dermatology program that I'm in really gives me a leg up, and it really did give me a lot of confidence applying to those jobs. Even though there's still going to be a learning curve, I figured I could really sell myself. If you are able to apply to jobs in multiple states, that will really increase your chances of getting a job, especially as a new grad, because a lot of the practices, they do want experience. But if you're willing to move to a more rural area of the country, then you are more likely to get an opportunity. That is basically what I did to break into dermatology, was joining a professional organization, learning more about dermatological conditions through a program, and then applying, and not giving up, y'all, and following through with some of those applications. One last thing is there is a Facebook group for dermatology nurse practitioners, which I think is really, really cool. I love Facebook groups, y'all. There's so many out there for everything. And on this group specifically, they often will show like different rashes that they see in clinic, and they're asking for the expertise of other people in the group of what they think it is, what the diagnosis is, and the treatment they would recommend. And so that has been really, really helpful for just like my learning. It's also a really good way to connect with other NPs. Besides the 3 things that I personally did to break into dermatology, there are some other things I would highly recommend. One being, if you are in NP school currently or are about to go into NP school, try your very best to get any of your clinical hours with a dermatology practice. That will be so smart and beneficial for you, because 1, it'll give you hands-on experience of what it's like working in that area. 2, it's something to add to your resume, and it'll give you a leg up amongst other applicants, specifically new graduates that are trying to work in dermatology or applying for the same dermatology position as you. And then lastly, clinicals are almost like an ongoing interview. Say, for example, you're able to do your clinical hours with a dermatologist. They might hire you upon graduation if they like you during your clinical hours. So that's something to definitely look into. Also, there are several conferences that you can attend that are great for learning and are amazing for networking. The major conferences are hosted by the DNA and also Maui Derm, but I have seen some others out there. So just look on Google for those, or just join these the Facebook group I told you about, and often they will promote those conferences. So yeah, that is another option, is joining a conference. Great for networking. In fact, I think that's how my oldest sister got her opportunity, was through attending one of the conferences, or it was like an open house. So definitely keep your eye open for one of those. And then the last thing I would really recommend is seeing if you can get a job at a dermatology office prior to graduation, whether it's working as an RN or even a medical assistant. Because that'll be a great way just to get some hands-on experience, something to add to your resume, and you might be able to move up the ladder and get hired as an MP. So those are the tips I have on how to break into dermatology from a previous specialty or as a new graduate like me. This is like what I've done in my personal experience and what I've found in my own research, but I highly encourage you to do your additional research, because there's always new things that are coming up, always new opportunities that are popping up on the internet. I hope you found these tips and resources helpful. Let me know if you enjoyed this by giving a big thumbs up, and comment down below any questions you have. That's all I have for you today. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.